Welcome, Earthlings! From the minds of Dylan Oltoft and Rob McNabb, we bring you Laughing on a Prayer!
Witam Wojciech Fanie Kocieta.
Gesundheit.
We do not talk about the Germans in this. No. That was Polish for anyone that doesn't know, and for the Polish people that do know, I apologise
For probably butchering any semblance of vowel.
Probably, definitely.
Is Gesundheit Swedish?
Gesundheit is German, which means good health.
Ah, fair enough. Something the Polish probably didn't hear a lot of in their history.
No. During that incident between 1939 and 1945.
I was on about the Olympics. God damn it, Rob. Keep it.
Oh.
Hello there, listeners. It's not even a minute in our first Holocaust joke.
No.
I'm proud.
I don't say anything about that. It was a World War joke, man.
Really? Which one?
The fourth one.
The fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one. I'm pretty sure there's been four.
The franchise wars.
Mm.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Laughing on a Prayer. For any newcomers, my name is Dylan Oltoft, and you are?
Hang on. Let me just look this up.
He needs to look up who he is, sort of thing. He sometimes wakes up in the morning and can't believe it.
I'm Katy Perry.
You're Katy Perry.
Yes.
Wow, they really do airbrush those jugs, don't they?
I
mean,
yeah,
no offence.
They make them smaller.
Yeah, those are... Wow, I mean, with the beard and everything, I mean, I get it now. You really are a dark fucking horse.
I am a dark horse.
This is, of course, Rob McNabb. Welcome, Rob. Why am I saying welcome?
Yeah, this is my flat.
Yes.
I mean, my recording studio.
Oh, yes.
We're definitely not recording this
in a house.
on a phone.
We have high-tech soundboards right in front of us. I'm mixing the levels. That's a thing they say, right? Mixing the levels.
Yeah, no, they definitely. Our producer, Dave, is that what they say? Dave's nodding. That's what they say.
Yes. Luckily, Dave is a mute. Take our word for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're not ableist. We hire mutes to do things for us.
Exactly.
And when we hurt them, they can't say anything. Yes.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Always trust a mute. They literally can't rat you out.
We have a question though that I saw.
Oh wow, we have a question. Everybody, give us questions. We will always answer them like I promised in the last time.
And,
Rob, who's this from?
This is from a chap called George Evans.
George. Hello,
Evans.
George.
And this question was posted on our fourth podcast. Doing our when we read our books or bits of our books.
Oh, I can't remember that. I was too pissed.
Yeah. And he asked, Dylan.
Oh, that's me.
Dylan. Your book is sounding a lot like the Resident Evil franchise. Were you inspired? He doesn't ask that, but I assume that's what he meant.
Not in the slightest. I'm kind of wondering where he's getting Resident Evil from, because I know the video game franchise quite well.
Aren't there films of those? I don't know anything about them.
There is literally like 4 or 5 live-action movies of them. Nothing on the rebooted. If you don't mind a little bit of silliness with your zombie action. It's sort of like
I love a bit of silliness in zombies.
28 Days Later mixed with the Underworld movies. That's sort of Resident Evil. You get Nemesis and all that, so it's still pretty cool. But no, honestly, for George, I'm sorry to say, Resident Evil did not inspire a lick of my stuff. I'd say
Why are you sorry to say that? I
feel,
apologise.
I feel I've let him down. I'd say the thing that would what inspired my books the most would probably be the Underworld franchise. The idea of the werewolves versus vampires war that takes place in the shadows, away from humanity without them knowing. But obviously I put my own spin on it, made the werewolves the good guys. Actually, I don't know if the vampires are considered the good guys in the Underworld films.
I mean, are vampires generally considered good guys in any sort of fiction?
I guess technically, sadly, Twilight.
But isn't he like really creepy? Isn't that like?
Well, yeah, he's a 150-year-old man like lecturing on a 16-year-old.
Yeah, so that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy, but is it evil?
Chris Hansen, if you're listening to this, go and check out that guy. Oh no, wait, you can't. He's Batman.
Yeah, that's fucking bad. Now you can really cover his tracks, can't he? Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine that being his like excuse on like Hanson versus Predator? Like, well, you see, my parents were killed. and so I need to alleviate the pain.
It wasn't the Joker or the Penguin that took down Batman. It was his hard. It was his hard drive.
That's the Batman the silent Batman villain.
But 5 minutes. We haven't even gotten on what we're doing this time.
No.
Rob, what is the theme of this week?
What is the theme of this week?
Well, I'll give you a hint. You need a controller.
Oh yes, of course. We are talking about games of the video variety.
Yes, and for all you PC Master Race listening, we also are going to talk a little bit about you, but you're not what counts. So
No,
deal
although
with it.
Age of Empires 2 is a fucking sick game.
Okay, yes, we've all played games on the laptop, Age of Empires, The Sims, and all that sort of thing. But what we're mainly going to be waxing lyrically about is all of the a lot more modern practices of gaming, as well as some retro perspectives, some opinion pieces, and a lot of bantery wank.
Yeah, but first...
Questions.
We are going to questions, and this one is called Call of Questions 3.
Modern Inquiry.
Modern Inquiry. We definitely saved that. I'm sort of looking at my video games just to see if I can get some names, but I can't think of any.
Yeah, no more puns. Okay, and we're gonna make these video game themed. Rob,
Yes,
do you
we
have
are.
any, or shall I start?
Yeah, I have a couple, but you can start.
Okay, let's say. Okay, we're gonna. This one is sort of based. You played The Sims, right?
I have not played The Sims, no.
You've not played The
Oh
Sims.
no, I've played it once.
Okay. I can work with that. Okay. Basically, you are a person that is in The Sims, but you're aware everyone is a Sim sort of thing.
Okay.
What do you do? Now, bear in mind the hilarious memes that you get with Sims. For example, you kill people by removing the ladder in the swimming pool and all that other shlick stuff.
Yeah.
You're in The Sims. You can, do the thing. You pretty much do have manual control. You can remove walls and all that sort of thing. You're God
nice.
in The Sims.
Oh, I'm
Go.
God in The Sims. Oh, well, first of all, I'm going to build myself a nice big house.
With what money?
The Sims, buddy.
You can't... so you're going to use the cheats and give yourself the money. You're going to make the little gnome appear and give yourself all the money.
I have no idea what you just said. Are there cheats in Sims?
Yep, yes there are.
Oh.
You can have a little gnome that can make all your moods.
You can get a job in Sims, though, can't you?
Yeah, but you have to work your way up. You have to start off as the guy that gives hand jobs in a steam room and work your way up to owning the steam room.
Yeah, I'm going to give hand jobs in a steam room and then work my way up owning the steam room, and it's going to be called Steamy Robs.
Every morning he takes a steamy rob.
It's going to be called Steamy Rob's Hall of Hands, and going to work my way up, and then I'm going to build a nice big house with my hand job money.
With his bare hands.
Yeah.
I built this place with my bare hands.
My raw bare hands.
Strongly calloused.
My blistering fingers. Yeah.
God's sake. Right, then what? Any roommates, wives, children you've kidnapped?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have loads and loads of wives.
Fucking... Oh, is your character Mormon?
or Mormon, or a polygamist.
Fair enough.
No, bigamist. Fuck, sorry about that. Bigamist. No, yeah, bigamist.
No, I think it's polygamist, isn't it? Because to be with one person is to be a monogamist.
Yeah, isn't a bigamist...
Polygamy is multiple partners, isn't it?
What's a bigamist then?
I don't know, someone that hates tall people?
I thought that was bi, as in two. Do you have two wives?
Okay, let's...
Yeah, we're not going down this rabbit hole, even though we already have. So I'm going to get loads and loads of wives. And actually, no, do you know what? I wouldn't.
Why?
I wouldn't. Because, here's the thing. Having, loads of people, live with you, even if you're having sex with all of them, you have to deal with, all their problems and stuff, and I don't really want to have to do that.
Not to mention, there is always the glaring inevitability of them all syncing up their cycles.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a big, you have to have a big house that you'll have to wall off once a month and just let them have it out amongst themselves.
Yeah, like Hunger Games.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's already blood.
Yeah, so the...
I feel like...
menstrual games.
I feel like we've covered the subject of periods before on this.
Oh, we...
I think we have. No, we have. We definitely have.
We are thoroughly enlightened men who are fully mastered in the ways of male and female reproductive information.
Yeah. Which definitely though.
We're skinny Buddhas.
Yeah. All right, my question for you.
Yeah, that was an interesting answer.
We're questions for you. You said that we're like skinny Buddhas. We're not skinny. Nor are we like Buddha. We're like the opposite of Buddha. Because we have hair. Anyway, my question for you is, if you walked into like if you were approached by a video game developer and they said, Dylan, we want you to come up with an idea for a video game and we will make it, what would that game be?
Okay, is there a limit to budget? Obviously,
no budget, blank check. Give us an idea for a video game and we'll make it for you.
Okay, so it starts off in the year 1002. That is very necessary. I'll explain
Isn't
why.
that just 1002?
No, the year 1002. So 1002. It's the year 1002.
Yeah, that's 1002. Like this year is 20.
Yeah, whatever.
20,
It's
like
1002.
20.
Fine. It's
Okay, so we're in the 11th century.
Yes, and you are and the main character is a half man, half squid, and a half cat warrior sent from the year 4067.
So he's been sent back in time.
Yes, he's been sent back in time, but we're not going to go to the future. We're sticking with him arriving in the past, Terminator style. He's going to be butt naked with the squid human cat penis out for show for everyone. And and if we've got no budget, I'm going to want to dedicate...
No, you have a massive budget.
That's what I'm saying. If there's like no question of budget, I'm going to spend a whole week rendering everything flawlessly. I'm talking like Thanos style.
Okay,
So,
right, but what about gameplay?
That's what we're going to. And his quest is to try and wipe out Europe, one person at a time.
And so what country is this start in?
He appears in, let's say, Russia. He appears in the edge of Russia, and he has to make his way.
The edge of Russia. Which edge?
The furthest one, and he makes his way across
the furthest one.
All of Europe. There's a clock. There's a ticking clock. He has 5 years to kill every single living being in Europe. Now, he can use whatever knowledge and sciences that come from things. There'll be a large arsenal of, obviously, what do they call it? Crafting. So he'll be able to use his future knowledge to craft future weapons.
Like open world?
Yeah, open world with everything that's available and all that. He can disguise himself, infiltrate, but he has to try and murder absolutely everyone. There'll be a couple plot lines, a couple companions that you quest with and then kill. And once you murder everybody in all of Europe, the main character's head explodes.
And what's this game called?
The game is called the...
Head Exploding Massacre.
No, The Furry Adventure of Squidman.
Not the Kratkin?
Damn.
Because he's like Kraken and cat.
Yeah, that's better. Yes, it's called the Catcran.
Yeah. And you can use like your tentacles and shit to hold like multiple weapons.
Yeah, you could...
Like General Grievous.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair.
And that's the thing. It's full on RPG. You'll gain experience with new class upgrades and everything. With
amazing graphics. So it's a good game to like grind away on.
Absolutely. You can grind away, or you can cause absolute mayhem. Open world, open freedom. You can join groups, or you can just murder everyone right from the start.
Fair. That sounds like...
And this will be the first video game you can kill children in as well. Skyrim you weren't able to.
Oh, I think you can kill children in the newest Call of Duty by accident.
Really?
Or there are dead kids in it.
Oh, right.
No, I haven't played the game.
That is a big no-no in video games.
I haven't played the game, but I think there's like a scene where you're like in a house and you can accidentally like kill like a kid.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That might be wrong.
There's a tone shift. Right, so
anyway,
there's my game.
Baby murder aside.
Right, Rob, how familiar are you with the Silent Hill games?
I've played one of them. Well, I say I played one of them. I played one of them for like an hour. So, not really.
Okay, so you're at least familiar with the premise.
I'm aware of Silent Hill, yeah.
Rob, have you at least seen the film?
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, you've accidentally wandered into Silent Hill. How do you escape?
Oh, God.
And bear in mind that what Silent Hill does, it will bring your worst nightmares, your guilty conscience, and manifest themselves into monsters to confront you.
Okay.
And then you've got to have a plan for Pyramid Head.
So I'm going to be chased around by loads of versions of me.
But they'll be really fucked up ways. Remember Silent Hill 2, there were the nurse monsters, and there was Pyramid Head, and so like abominations of your psyche are trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah, they just look just like me. Well, is killing myself technically an escape?
No, because then your soul will be trapped in Silent Hill forever.
If anyone's familiar with the Zombie Land films, cardio is definitely a major thing you need to do.
If memory serves,
which I don't really have. Like, I'm not great at running.
But if memory serves, a lot of the monsters are quite slow. Like you could just lightly jog yourself out of their reach.
Yeah, I probably could do that. Well, first thing I'm going to do is, I probably have to find I probably have to go to a hardware store, find like a weapon of some sort, like an axe or something like that. Because who doesn't love a good axe? Right?
Yeah, all supernatural creatures are vulnerable to axes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I guess I'd probably go to a church, get some holy water, get some communion wine. The communion wine's unrelated. But,
yeah, for that, just for yourself, that is.
Yeah. But it's blessed wine, so might do all right.
Piss on a monster and it'll dissolve.
Yeah. And then I don't really know like the full lore about the monsters, but I assume like if you melt it down to silver, make some silver bullets.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
There is a theory that if you believe it hurts them, it will hurt them, but
Oh well, then if I believe hard enough, then there we go, and then I will go to space.
What about when if Pyramid Head shows up? You're gonna fight him or run away?
I'm gonna run away from him. All right, I'm not that problem.
You don't think your axe could take on his big sword that'll swing around?
Do you know what? Funnily enough, I don't. But then I'm gonna go to space, and because I believe that I can breathe in space, I'll be able to breathe in space, and I'll be fine.
I think space. How are you getting to space?
With a rocket that I believe that will fly, and then.
Okay, so you've been Silent Hill for the last, let's say, 9 months, fighting monsters and slowly constructing this rocket, and just as Pyramid Head turns up, he's finally found you. You take off, and he's incinerated in the blast.
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. I assume he's resistant to fire.
Hideo Kojima, why couldn't you have made that? That would have been a lot more better than PT.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I reckon, like, maybe if I took, like, a big swing at his head, and, like, I don't even need to decapitate
the big pyramid head?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't even need to decapitate him, but I reckon if I bang the axe against his head, the ringing in his ears would probably discombobulate him a fair amount.
Or, it'll really piss him off.
It will, oh no, it'll definitely piss him off. But maybe for like a moment, it will be like dong.
And bear in mind, he only has that sword in one hand. The other one's quite free to grab your fucking face.
Yeah, but that's going to be woe for him because he doesn't know where my face has been.
Well, you saw that moment in the live action movie when he just ripped a woman's skin off, right?
Oh yeah,
that was fucking cool.
Yeah,
she was naked.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's why that was cool.
What's my question?
Okay, your question is here. You have been dropped, kind of similar to what I asked you, but
Okay.
You've been dropped into the GTA, a GTA world. Which
one?
Well, that's the thing. Which one is it? Which GTA world have you been dropped into?
I don't think I'll survive in San Andreas, the whole pigment issue. I don't think I'll last too long on the mean streets of San Andreas very long.
No.
I think I'll just be drive-by in 5 minutes.
He's talking about the video game, by the way, not the actual place. We've never been there.
No, if I went to the actual San Andreas, I guess The Rock would turn up in a helicopter and kill me. But, okay.
Why would The Rock kill you? He's like one of the nicest guys ever.
Did you never see that movie, San Andreas?
Yeah. But I think he's like the good guy.
Yeah, well, that was my closest reference.
I can't imagine The Rock being the bad guy, apart from in that film. What's it? Pain and Gain?
What about when he was a Scorpion King?
Oh, yeah, he was a bad guy in that.
Anyway, I guess...
Love you, Brendan Fraser. You're my hero.
I'll have to go with Vice City, because it takes place in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll fare a little bit better there. Obviously, I'll dress in the mad styles and all that, go to all the coke parties and everything. Wait, am I myself, or do I have to be a gangster?
No, it's yourself. Like,
I don't
you're just
think...
you. Like, you don't have to be a gangster.
Oh, it's okay, so I'll pretty much just be going to the 80s.
Yeah.
Just occasionally turning my head around and being like, oh, a big police car chase, and that guy's riding a helicopter with a rocket launcher and he's just jumped out. Oh, he's fine. Oh, he's made a tank appear out of nowhere. That's neat. Oh, off he goes.
That guy's got it easy.
Fucking wizard gangsters.
Be friend with his...
Now that needs to be a video game. Wizard gangsters.
Wankers. Wanksters. Wanksters.
J.K. Rowling needs to commission a Harry Potter video game where you have to be a wizard gangster.
Oh, man.
Forget all this dark wizard shit. We need Harry Potter gangsters.
Just give
Peaky Potter.
Peaky. Harry Potter and the fucking...
No fucking dueling!
Can you imagine that? Fucking Alfie Solomons from Peaky Blinders turning up in Harry Potter as a fucking wizard. I bet he would be a fucking sick...
He's got the beard for it.
Yeah, I reckon he'd be a fucking sick wizard. Can you imagine him being like Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher or some shit? I think that'd be fucking...
What I do against this Dementor is hit him with some brown bread. Brownus breadiardus. I don't know, a Star of David shoots out of his cane and makes it blow up or something, or traps it.
Yeah, can you imagine that shit? Like, him doing like History of Magic, some shit talking about Hogwarts and stuff. Right, Harry Potter, he fucking killed Voldemort, mate. Fucking biblical, mate. Anyway, back to what was we talking about?
I'll go in Vice City and live on cocaine for a few decades.
Yeah, fair.
That's my life in GTA.
Live on cocaine for a few decades.
Right.
Charlie Sheen it.
Well, but you're releasing a new console.
Yeah.
Now, this is a console that will need to compete with both Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony.
Yeah.
And this is like obviously they've announced the PS5 and the Xbox Fridge and all that sort of thing. Your console is going to need to compete with those.
Yeah.
What can it do?
Oh, I'll tell you what it can do. I'll fucking tell you what it can do.
Can you beat their pre-order sales?
Oh, I don't need to. My console will be special in a way. Now, I'll tell you how it's going to be special in a way. Dylan, do you remember many, many years ago when a game would come out and the game would be complete?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would, my console would release and the game, that would be the game. It would be complete, there'd be no bugs, it would be a finished game, Sony.
No DLC. What used to be DLC was actually unlocked.
Yeah.
You could beat the game and unlock more content.
Yeah, and you unlock stuff, alright? You can't pay to win.
Oh.
And also I would remaster Halo 3, obviously. And Halo Reach. Halo Reach was sick. Team SWAT and Halo Reach, that was my jam.
How are you going to get the rights to Halo from Microsoft?
I'm going to pay them shit tons of money because I'm going to have loads of money because my console's going to be amazing. And it's going to be called the Rob Box.
The Rob Box. So what your console is selling is that you've spoken with developers and you've made deals to ensure that all games are fully... Does that mean... Well, that means they're just going to end up being hyperinflated, like $160 for a completed game.
Well, that's the thing. No, they wouldn't be. They would just take longer to come out. Because here's the thing. It's like you see it with like games like nowadays. Like the game will come out and it'll have bugs and it won't work. Like, do you remember? I mean, you probably don't remember, but like I never bought the game, but I remember there was a big hoo-ha about it. It was that Black Ops 3 was basic, or was it Black Ops 4? Yeah, no, it was Black Ops 4 was basically unplayable because there was just so much wrong with it. It's like, mate,
same with Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait until the game is finished. Don't just pump it out. And I think this is the problem: is that like lots of people are just okay with their games being kind of shit for the first, sort of few months. It's like, if you're going to pay like 60 quid or something for a game, you want it to,
Are you familiar with early access?
Yeah.
These are people that literally, I think it's mainly Steam account people. You can play a game while it's still in development.
Yeah, no, you can.
And obviously you give feedback to thing and how it's working. It's basically free beta testers.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I did the Halo Reach beta when the Halo Reach one, and even
Halo Reach, one of the most unlikable ones.
Was it? I thought it was one of the best ones. To be fair, I loved the Halo Reach one. It was the last one Bungie did, and it was the
To be fair, 4 and 5 were wank.
Yeah, and it was the prequel to like the Halo series, which is cool. It's definitely one of my favorite Halo games, apart from Halo 3.
Oh, Halo 3 is the magnum opus.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Halo 3 campaign, multiplayer, just
Can I ask what your console's controller? What does that look like? Because obviously we've got the the Xbox, which is the bulky sort of one. The PlayStation has a thinner sort of analog stick. The triangle, and obviously the triangle X square circle, and the Xbox has like Y, X, A, and B.
Yeah, it does.
What's your controller?
Well, my controller is very similar, but not enough to get sued. But the symbols are gonna be I guess what they're gonna have is they're gonna have little like sort of icons that you can sort of chop and change and stuff.
What, you can change the buttons out?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
one day you can have FGXY, and the next day you can have BBBB.
Yeah.
A sort of like Lego controller.
Or do you know what? They might not even have symbols. They might just be colours.
Just colours.
Because like the rest of, I'm going to spend a lot of money on the rest of the stuff, so I might not be able to afford symbols. So it's just going to be colours. I mean, to be fair, like when you're playing Xbox, right? Or you've got an Xbox, right?
Yeah, sadly.
Like when you go on Xbox, like you don't really look at the letters. You look at the colours more than anything, don't you?
I guess. Well,
like if all the
you originally started out with the first as A and B, and then they added the other two.
But so I was playing Battlefield 4 the other day. No, Battlefield 1, sorry. Battlefield 1, yeah. And, like, when you wanted to pick up a weapon, there was, like, an icon and the letter. And it took me sort of, like, a second, maybe because I'm dumb, but, like, it took me a second to, like, where's the letter? Whereas, like, when it's colours, I instantly know where the colours are.
I think that's more a psychological thing, recognising colour before a symbol. Your brain processes colour quicker.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, really, it's just going to be, like, whatever colour, right?
You know what's really trained us all to recognise that? Something that was iconic in gaming for about 2 years and everyone's forgot about it. Guitar Hero. Tell me you play... I don't even need to answer. Everyone played Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah, everyone played Guitar Hero.
Red, blue, yellow, blue, 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 yellow, blue, blue, blue. I was always terrible. I never got past medium difficulty.
I was so shit. The only song that I knew how to play on Guitar Hero was Before I Forget by Slipknot. Mainly because, like, it's a fucking sick tune.
I remember I had a mate of mine who was able to do it onto the hardest difficulty where you include the orange thing, and he'd do Through the Fire and Flames by
Dragon Force, man.
And his fingers were moving in directions. I mean, God, he must have a happy wife.
I saw a fucking dude on YouTube playing Halo with a Guitar Hero controller.
I can top that. I saw a video of a guy defeating a Dark Souls boss with a Guitar Hero controller.
Dark Souls, man.
Oh, but we'll get on to hard games in a little bit. I believe the final question is on you, good sir.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so. You have been plopped again into a game. There's a theme. There's a theme. There's a theme. There's a theme going here, right?
Okay. Where am I thrown this time? Crash Bandicoot?
Well, here is the question.
Okay.
Would you rather be plopped into...
Ooh, I love these.
Mario Kart...
Ooh.
Crash Bandicoot... or Zelda? Oh, yeah, I suppose I should specify which Zelda.
That's the thing. Am I Link in Zelda? Again,
you're doing Link's job, I guess.
So I have to wear the fucking green sock.
Well, you don't have to, but you're doing Link's job.
So there's a chance I might get with Princess Zelda then.
I mean, has Link managed to do that yet?
Probably in a few canons. I honestly haven't played those games in a few years. I think the last one I played was called Twilight Princess on the Wii.
Okay, right. Say you've been plopped... Okay, so what would you rather do? Mario Kart, Crash Bandicoot, or Twilight?
Well, I don't know how to drive, so I don't know how well I do on Mario Kart.
Oh, it's basically go-kart. You've been go-kart before, haven't you?
Okay, but I'm myself go-karting, because I usually always choose Bowser.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, you're into the game.
I'm just fucking driving.
Well, go-karting. But you've also got to deal with, like, bananas and shit.
Shit hitting me and all that.
Yeah.
I love how I saw a meme on the Facebook and it was like Mario Kart is a really great symbol for how society should function, where if you're at the front, the only upgrades you get are banana peels, but if you're at the very back, you get all the best upgrades, like the bullet and all that sort of thing.
Like the bullet, you get shot.
No, like the fuck the blue, the blue shell percent and all that. But I mean, I guess that's the safest option. Rainbow Bridge. No, not Mario Kart.
Okay, not Mario Kart.
Not Mario Kart.
So it's between Crash Bandicoot and Twilight Princess.
I mean, I'm not going to survive in the Crash Bandicoot world. The only way he does is because he's a spinning mutant abomination, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wears trousers and no shirt, you perverted freak.
I mean, Link wears, like, tights.
Yeah, but Crash's sister wears a shirt, so why doesn't he? I guess that's so we don't see, like, what is he, a
Crash
fox?
titties.
No, he's a fucking bandicoot.
What even is his sister's name?
Coco, I think it is.
Coco titties.
Yeah, I don't want to see no Coco tits. And I'm glad we've taken a firm stance on that.
Yeah, we have. I love how you're like the biggest fucking dude in the game is called Tiny.
Yeah. I guess I'll go into for Link, because at least in Link's world, I have a sword and a shield. So that's my best chance of survival. In Mario Kart, I'll fly off into the abyss in Rainbow Bridge. In fucking Crash Bandicoot, I'll be eaten or squashed or buggered. So I'm going to go with Link's world. I have a sword and a shield.
Yeah, fair.
Fuck Ganon. Ganon can take over the world. He can get the Triforce. Don't give a fuck, really. I'm going to go...
Yeah. You do you as long as you leave me alone.
Kinda. You know, after so many times, I think Ganon's earned it. How many times am I going to thwart him? Can't I give him one win for Christmas? Give him the Triforce. Just have a good hour. Have a good hour.
Have a day off, mate.
Yeah.
Have a day off time. Yeah.
So those are the questions, and as usual, it's taken up half the podcast.
Whoa!
Yay, we're mediocre. Right. Now, before we go into other video game practices, like you mentioned earlier, that being loot boxes, pay to win, and of course, dreaded DLC and season passes, I'll get to that in a little
evolution.
bit. I think me and Rob should first deliberate where we started with video games. Let's get a bit retro. Rob, what was the first video game you can recall playing? Don't say Pong. I mean, like,
it was not
a game that got you into video games.
The first video game I remember playing was that I was always slightly behind with, like, consoles and stuff. So my cousins had a PlayStation 1. And this was when PlayStation 2 was out.
That was your first introduction, a PS1. That's not behind.
And
did you never have the Mega Drive?
no.
Holy shit, we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, it was PlayStation 1 when everyone had PS2. And on that, there was a Spider-Man game.
I know the one.
It was the first Spider-Man game. And there was some incredible just moments that I still remember to this day. Now, what I remember about this is that this is the first time I was introduced to cheats in games. And there was one in the Spider-Man game where you could get sort of like weird stuff happen. Like you typed, it wasn't even a cheat, but like just weird, funny stuff would just happen throughout the game. But what I remember most is that last level when Carnage is chasing you. It's like Dr. Octopus mixed with Carnage is chasing you through like this sort of tunnel.
Yeah.
And he's got that horrible laughter, which is like, you know, manic sort of laughter.
I love Carnage, he's my favourite.
Yeah. It's so sick.
Woody Harrelson will never play him.
Yeah. And no. So like this cheat that sort of made stuff funny, you'd be sort of crawling through vents and stuff, being sneaky, and then like there'd be like guards that obviously had to beat up and stuff, and they'd be saying stuff like, I have to pee, and then their friend would say like, just hold it, man, and like they'd say like funny stuff. I'd like that.
Did you never play Spider-Man 2 on the Playstation 2? That's like regarded as the best Spider-Man game ever, purely because the web slinging is like considered perfect in that.
Is it? No.
I played the one you're playing, and the web slinging was pretty fun in that as well. But I
mean, it didn't matter because I think because I played one on the Xbox, the first Xbox.
Oh yeah,
which again, like
that
everyone
microwave-sized console.
Yeah, like everyone had Xbox 360s by the time I had the Xbox, and that one was kind of cool because you actually had to like attach the webs to a building, whereas the first one you just sort of swung.
Yeah. I think I know the one. That might be the one I'm talking about because that had interesting physics as well. And you used to have fun just climbing as high as you can, jumping off the building at the last moment. Your web sling before you hit the ground.
Yeah. Like in the film.
You could just fuck around for so long.
Yeah. Although pinnacle game for the Xbox, Star Wars Battlefront. One or two? The first one. Oh. Both of them. We just once again want to state, not the current Battlefronts, the original good ones. Again, fucking loot boxes and the... Yeah, and also it's basically Battlefield, but in a Star Wars, like the new one.
Really? Battlefront is Battlefield, you don't say?
Yeah, because it's made by EA, isn't it? So it's like basically the same kind of thing. But Battlefront, the original Battlefronts were... So, I mean, like, everyone, like, knows the phrase, it's like, the enemy have captured a command post, and shit like that, like...
Oh, that moment when you got to be a fucking Darth Maul for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get to be Darth Maul, you get to be Yoda as well.
And this was back before, like, online play and all, you just fucking...
They had multiplayer on it.
Oh, so it must have been around the time, because, Halo 2 introduced multiplayer, I remember. The first Halo didn't have it, Halo 2 had multiplayer.
Yeah, Combat Evolved didn't have it, but Halo 2 was...
Where you first got yelled at through a lobby.
Did Combat Evolved have multiplayer?
I'm not sure. What was your first introduction to the toxicity of online playing? We've all been in those Modern Warfare lobbies, but some 10-year-old screaming the N-word at you because you drop shotted him or something.
Oh my god, I don't know. I never had like a mic though, but I could listen to people, and I think probably the first one again, like this was when like everyone was playing Modern Warfare 2, and I'd only just got Call of Duty 4, but there's still people playing Call of Duty 4. I think it was probably Call of Duty 4.
The lobbies in that were...
because like you had people that were either really, really bad, or you had people that were really, really good.
The 360 no scope people.
Yeah, and I was like one of the people that were like really bad. I still am pretty bad at video games.
Yeah, say my kill death ratio is usually quite even.
Yeah. I mean, like it was probably Call of Duty 4.
Was that the big controversial one because they had that nuke and all that?
Oh, well, yeah, they had the nuclear bomb.
And then you shot a bunch of people in an airport.
No, that was Modern Warfare 2. They had the big controversial shooting up people in an airport.
So Call of Duty 4 was the nuke.
Yeah.
Do you remember that moment? That was a big moment in gaming because you actually drag yourself for a bit and then you die.
Yeah, and then also like the fact that you could die in a like this was a character that you played and then you died, like that was like sort of something that wasn't... I mean, it's been done before, but like I think Call of Duty 4...
They reintroduced that concept in the most recent Battlefield game, the one that took place in World War One, and they tried to rip off Band of Brothers.
Did they in World War One?
Yeah, they kind of tried to do it. It might have been based on World War Two. Either way, you had a little squadron. They were really doing Band of Brothers, and when you died, your player transferred to another person on the battlefield.
Oh, that was the beginning. That was in Battlefield 1, yeah, for sure. But I think that was really well done because it like showed that just like the amount of death and destruction that happened during that war. And, you know, it would say like the name of the person and then it would have like the dates and you'd be like, oh, these people were like 18.
I still remember a cutscene from that game where two of opposing sides holding a gun at each other. And they just lowered them for a second, realising they were both just cogs in this...
Yeah, and fun... This is a fun history fact, or an interesting history fact at least, is that the guy in that scene, one of the guys, not the German guy, was a French guy who's an African-American. Now, they were called the Harlem Hellfighters. Ooh. And they were a group of African-Americans that wanted to be in frontline combat, but there was a lot of segregation in the US Army.
Dipshits.
And the French Army, they didn't really care about that. So that's why that man is wearing a French uniform. And these Harlem Hellfighters, if there's anyone who's interested in history, even remotely, some of you may have heard of these guys, but
so they were like modern Spartans?
Well, yeah, they were... I strongly suggest that looking up the Harlem Hellfighters, because I had no idea who these guys were until Battlefield 1 came out, and I love history, and it's really great pieces of history. But yeah, they fought on the Western Front, and... Can I quickly ask, as
a self-proclaimed gun nut, can you verify any accuracies or inaccuracies from Battlefield 1?
What gun wise?
Yeah, gun-wise. Because obviously the First World War, they were the first time warfare got to play with machine guns and the like.
Yeah, so I think the sort of one thing, and obviously this is really not a huge problem because gameplay needs to be good.
Fluid.
But the fact is that the sights on the guns are not quite like that. Sights on the real guns are much harder to use than they are in the game. So in the
they have bolt action rifles.
Yeah, they have bolt action rifles. So for instance, the Gewehr 98, which is the German rifle, big long rifle, and the SMLE as well, the Enfield SMLE. The sights on those guns are much harder to use in real life. But I understand for gameplay why they made them that way. But most of them are very good, actually. There's one thing I noticed that was good was that the firing pins, so like the firing pin on the SMLE, it actually moves when you cock the gun in the game and moves when you fire and like goes forward when you fire. So like they've really paid a lot of attention to these guns. Now, yes, there are some guns. So like there are some guns that were like experimental guns that didn't even make it into combat. But it's kind of cool to see guns that you don't really know about. And I'm just going to finish off my gun nut rant here. And I'm going to plug a YouTube channel called Forgotten Weapons.
Forgotten Weapons, subscribe to us.
Yeah, Forgotten Weapons. Ian, if you're listening, please give me a call. Back. But
you're familiar with VR, right? VR headsets and that. Could you imagine a shooting game like you just suggested? They didn't have the sights right, but because of the gameplay. Imagine that in VR though, because you got the controllers.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd be able to add that sort of gun sight detail with a VR headset.
Oh, that'd be kind of
That could be quite interesting. I'm unfamiliar with. I know a lot of VR games. I don't know if they've introduced that sort of gunplay with VR, or if VR would work in that sort of medium.
I mean,
or
VR
would it be like that, the old House of the Dead games where you just like shoot what comes at you?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, VR's coming along pretty quickly, but
because they did a Doom mod. I say mod. They made it. They released a Doom game for the VR called Doom VR,
did they?
Of course. And apparently that was well received.
Oh, yeah, Doom 2016. I remember playing that.
Oh, so good.
Oh my god, that game!
The soundtrack alone.
Oh my goodness! Like literally, I bought it, and the thing is, I think I lent it to someone. I definitely lent it to because I don't have it because I'd be playing it all the time if I did. But I remember first putting that game in, and then it booted up, and then the music started playing. I was like, oh, okay.
Best mechanics, no reloading. Do you remember in Gears of War when you're reloading and it take 5 hours? You had to do a little mini game to reload. And it's also, just constant.
And also, it's fucking like hectic. Like you cannot stand still.
Nope.
Like, ever. You have to keep moving.
Makes you sweat as you play.
Exactly. Like you're on edge like all the time. Like in games like Call of Duty and Halo, like you can maybe kind of hide in a corner and sort of wait. But like Doom, you cannot do that.
Again, the chest high wall-a-thon. That is Gears of War. I really struggle to like those games myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
So you like your first-person shooters? Just cute.
I do, yeah.
A quick, curious question. I never even mentioned my favourite retro games.
What's your favourite retro game? Go.
I had the Mega Drive, so obviously one of the first games I started off with was like the original. The Mega Drive was a console that had cartridges before discs. So before discs, you had cartridges. These big black boxes that you shoved into the console and you started playing. So I had the original Sonic, the original Earthworm Jim, Sonic 2, and all that. But my number one favourite game was called Streets of Rage. And the best part, it was one of those side-scrolling games where
Do you want to explain to people what Streets of Rage is?
Yes.
For those that don't know, like me.
It was a side-scrolling game where basically you as your fighter, you go into the area, you beat the shit out of everyone who walks into the area, and you move on to the next area. And you do flips and kicks and jumps, you have a special move, and it was like the proper, you could tell all the money was put on the soundtrack. Because it was I think they called it 16 bits, so it's all pixels as the fighting guy and limited fluid movements, but it was so cool. And you'd have boss fights, like fighting Freddy Krueger and giant fire-breathing sumo. He looks like Freddy Krueger.
Oh, right, it's not actually.
No, sadly not. But it was absolute so much fun, and they recently made a fifth one of that and released it on the Xbox Live store that I recently replayed, and my nostalgia just had a massive erection.
Really, yeah. I remember actually saw it on PlayStation 1. There was a Digimon game that was basically like Mortal Kombat but for Digimon.
Oh, a fighter.
Yeah, it was
game.
a fighting game, but it was like Digimon. And
I was going to ask what your opinion of fighter games was.
Well, that was the only one that I really played, and like
You never played Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Oh no, with like other friends, but I never had those games. But like
all friends.
Again, yeah, all friends. So I basically imagined playing those games with people.
Where do you download Friends?
Oh, I think Friends is on Netflix. Not that
oh Christ!
Not that I watched that. But yeah, no, there was a Digimon game. It was like a fighter game in Digimon. Like if you you could level up and then like evolve your Digimon.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was kind of cool throughout the fight, and then you'd have like 3 rounds of fighting, and whoever won, like, it was kind of cool.
I had a different Digimon game. It was on the PlayStation 1, and basically you start as you're a normal little boy, and they're aware of the world of Digimon, and he, standard anime story, gets sucked inside to the digital world. You get your own Digimon, and you got to traverse the whole land. And your
Really?
But the thing is, you had to properly take care of your Digimon like he was a Tamagotchi. Like if he
really?
like if he needed to go to the toilet, you had to bring him to a toilet and make him go in it. Otherwise, he would if he did his business out in the open, he would digivolve into that Digimon that was a piece of shit. You could not battle and was really crap, and you pretty much just had to restart the game and not fuck up. And
so the game was based around whether your Digimon could shit in the proper place.
If you didn't
carry plastic bags around with you, man.
If you properly didn't look after your Digimon, he digivolved into a shit Digimon, and it did this thing where it asked you questions about your personality, and that decided what Digimon you'd start off with.
Really?
And it was probably like a Digimon RPG and all that shit. It was really good.
All right.
So that's our retro roots.
That's our retro. But now we're going to go on to a slightly different subject. Maybe a little more serious.
Ooh.
Probably not, because this is us we're talking about.
I'm very happy.
But we touched on this earlier.
Ooh.
Controversial.
Oh, controversial
games. Now, I'm going to start off with a game that we can all agree is pretty heinous by today's standards, and rightfully so.
What's that?
It is an 8-bit game.
Ooh.
Called Custer's Revenge.
Oh,
Have you heard of this game?
Yeah, but I'm just going to let you describe it.
Okay, right. Well, Custer's Revenge is an 8-bit game, pretty horrible game, where you are a very poorly drawn stick man.
What was that made for? The Atari or something?
Yes, it was. I think it was,
right.
Yeah. Who has a stick man who's naked with a massive erection. Who has
and
to
you can
dodge,
clearly see the erection.
I think you can. Maybe.
Yeah, at least in the bits. It's very apparent.
Yeah, the
something
8-bit.
Sticking out.
You're naked, yeah. You can see it. And you've got to dodge arrows in order to get to a Native American woman in order to...
can we have a quick little description? Who was General Custer?
General Custer was, funnily enough, an American general. Now, there was a battle called the Battle of Little Bighorn where he was actually... defeated by Native Americans, by a man, a Native American general, I believe, called Sitting Bull.
Diddums.
Yeah, and if anyone has seen the film Spirit, which is about the horse, stallion of the... Yeah, something like that.
Spirit. Is that the one where the horse doesn't speak or anything?
Yeah. It's the horse. The general, the American general, that is basically, he's based on General Custer. He looks identical. He's definitely what he's supposed to be.
Is there American nostalgia for fucking Custer?
No. Well, a little bit, because Little Bighorn was
I'm talking
kind of
like the far right, patriotic. Is there nostalgia for Custer?
I don't.
America. Does he like Custer?
So. I don't really know. I don't really think so. But the Battle of Little Bighorn was a massive thing. Also, there's
and so the game is about the battle, is it, Rob?
No, it is not about the battle.
So what's his revenge?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm laughing because I know.
Yeah. So the point of the game is that you need to get to a Native American woman and
Yes.
You gotta do some stuff that doesn't involve consent, and it's pretty heinous. And
that was a released video game.
Yes, but it was banned.
Oh, I'm fucking shocked.
Yeah. Don't continue.
They would sooner re-release the fucking, the Columbine mod before they re-release that game ever again.
Did you know that Eric Harris designed video games for... he designed a video game... he didn't design video, but he created sort of like multiplayer maps for video games, like on his computer and stuff.
Quick disclaimer, fuck Eric, fuck Dylan, they're absolute arseholes.
Yeah, fuck Dylan.
Yeah, biggest prick of them all. What kind of stupid cunt name is that?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking idiots. Speaking of banned video games...
Okay, let's go forward through history after General Custer. The next game I can recall having massive controversy. Did you ever play the first ever GTA?
I did not. No.
A lot of people aren't familiar. They were actually originally came out in bird's eye view. So you were basically a little dot in bird's eye view. You'd see your little gun sticking out and you had to run around streets, get in cars and do shit missions. That basically evolved to either you get out of the car, shoot someone, and you get back in your car and drive off. Damn. Or you'd have to drive a car that was filled with explosives, and if you hit anything, it blows up and you failed. Those are the first GTA games, and then
were they? No way.
Yeah, and then the third one came about.
Did you ever play them?
Yeah, I played them both.
Did you?
And I remember the third one came out because everyone was blown away because it was the first 3D modelled GTA game as we know them today.
Yeah.
And that one fucking blew up the world. People were calling left and right for the anarchism of it and that.
Yeah, Manhunt as well.
Ooh, Manhunt. Rob, I love that game. If memory serves, it was banned in 7 countries?
I think
it wasn't banned all over the world. It was banned in like 7 countries.
I think it's still banned in the UK, and I've never played it. But
Oh no, I played it.
Oh, have you played it?
I got it in the UK. Yeah, it was released on the PlayStation 1. It had its own cartridge. Sorry, not cartridge. Disc case.
Did it actually? Oh my god, that must be worth a shit ton of money now.
Oh, I don't know whether it happened. Sorry, don't have it anymore. But basically, how this game would work is you woke up as I remember you were a guy on death row, and you woke up. It turns out you hadn't been executed, sort of like the opening of 28 Days Later, and you got a guy on the phone or something telling you to go and do some shit. And basically, you spend the whole game like killing people in ultra uncomfortable, realistic ways, like garrote wires, plastic bags over their head, and that just also set the world afire.
Yeah. Now, some of you might have seen a connection here. All these games are rather violent games, but you know one thing that pisses people off and is more offensive than violence?
What could be more offensive than the taking of sacred life?
Well, things that humans do naturally. Sex, Dylan! Oh my god!
I need to go pray.
Oh,
I can't believe you'd say that word.
Trust me, God is not here.
That doesn't happen. They do a special hug.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's no such thing as nipples.
Yeah.
I only know the country Nepal.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some controversy during
sex. I can't recall the first game I saw with nipples or sex. I remember in
I think it was GTA 4.
San Andreas, where you could pick up prostitutes. You go to a cliffside, your car would rock for a bit.
I mean, you can do it in GTA. You can go to a strip club in GTA 4.
Yes, and so many people were outraged that, such filth had been Trojan horsed into their policeman murder simulator.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh no, how, beating hookers to death was fine, but, you can't have sex with them, but, pay them consensually.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just too far.
Sex is just too much. There's a dog outside.
Don't know if you guys are picking that up, but there are doggies outside the window. You see, we're horribly unprofessional, and are the windows closed?
No, they are closed in our recording studio.
Yes, who let a dog in the building of our HM Records or wherever we're performing?
Oh no, it's some guy walking his dog. Anyway,
so yes, such wholesomeness as just selling drugs, chopping people up, and that.
Yeah, and as we know, Dylan, as the media has told us constantly, video games they cause violence.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of you might remember a few years ago a game that came out called Hatred. Dog, do you remember this game?
Oh, yeah. I played that game and immediately it made me want to kill people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It made me unable to distinguish between reality and a video game.
Or maybe, unable to distinguish what the fuck was a doorway and what was a ledge or a bush.
Yeah.
Because of I remember it was the way it was platformed out. It was really
like
hard
an overhead game, wasn't it? Yeah.
like a tabletop thing, but you were at a diagonal angle and you couldn't see
Yeah,
him.
it was a bit of a weird thing.
I love the main character from it. He's just adorable.
Yeah, what's that,
It's like
dude?
Ozzy Osbourne took drugs, became absolutely... Oh yes, God forbid Ozzy Osbourne took drugs. I mean like steroids, became jacked and just watched the Saw films on repeat.
He looks like that dude from... Oh, what's that thing? Is it Death Clock?
Death Clock?
No.
Oh, yes, Death Clock. Nathan Explosion.
Nathan Explosion. He looks like that dude.
Metal Apocalypse.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he fucking looks like.
My name is not important. He's the most adorable guy in the world. It just ends with him setting off a nuclear explosion going... Hitler was more relatable as a villain than this psychopath.
And we're back to the Nazis.
Take a shot.
But yeah, video games have been blamed for violence for a long time.
Even though I don't think any sort of spree killer has ever said, yes, I did this because I was able to decapitate Sonya on Mortal Kombat.
And here's the thing. Even if you were to do that, if you can't distinguish between reality and video games, then you've got a lot more problems than a video game.
The thing is, it's an entertainment medium. You could say the exact same things for a violent book. Oh, I've read... Okay, that's a bad example because the guy who read someone read Catcher in the Rye and shot John Lennon. But he was a dipshit. The point is...
I mean, people who shoot other people are generally dipshits unless people are bad.
Rap music doesn't make you shoot people. Books don't make you shoot people.
Marilyn Manson doesn't make you shoot people.
And neither does video games. No. It's
it's a form of art.
Yes, we're the first people in the world to say this, Rob. No one's ever
are.
Brave to come out and say, it doesn't actually make you violent.
Well, fuck you, CNN. Was that brave? Yes. I feel like that was brave.
No, that was it. No, it's not CNN. The most toxic news thing in America is Fox, isn't it?
They're both. They're both as bad as each other. Two
giant Lovecraftian anthropomorphic blobs of evil.
Yeah, I think Fox and CNN are two worse. We say this as people that don't watch Fox or CNN.
Yes, we're from the jolly old UK.
Much like the people that don't play video games love to judge them so much.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, to be honest, that is sort of thing. It's not like we're kicking down the doors of their treehouse and telling them what they're doing is evil.
No.
But while we have probably about 5 minutes left, I want to quickly touch upon the most recent controversial thing in gaming. And actually, this went to court, and people that did this had to defend it. My favourite word for their defence, you know what it was? You'll know what I'm talking about when I say what their defence was.
Okay, what was it?
It's not gambling, it's surprise mechanics.
Oh, yes.
It's not gambling, it's surprise mechanics.
Well, here's the thing. If you want to play the game of capitalism, you got to do it right. Now, here's the thing again.
That's where you either win or you die.
Yeah. Or, in this case, you either pay or you die.
No, that's gangsters. What's the difference? Ooh!
Stay tuned. You heard it here first, folks.
For the next podcast, my legs are broke. You know why?
Yeah. But
loot boxes. Why are they bad?
Yeah, loot boxes. Why are they bad? Well, I feel that you're going to get money out of people no matter what. Now, I touched upon this earlier about how a game used to, completed game, that was the game that you got, you put it in, you played it. Loot boxes, if you got the money and that's what you want to spend your money on, then you do you.
That's
right?
the thing, it's mostly their parents' money.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if you work a job and gaming's your life, good for you.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you want to do, then you do you. But Is it exploiting people?
Absolutely, it's feeding an addiction. There's no other way to... Gaming is absolutely addiction. As a former World of Warcraft player, I can absolutely attest that gaming can be an addiction. And that is definitely just feeding the chicken.
But I feel it also takes away slightly from video games. Like, I feel like a game is much more enjoyable if you grind towards what you want to get. Whereas if you just buy it, then it's like, well, you haven't really... I feel like that sort of takes away from it. And I suppose some people just want to get what they want to get and buy it, and like that's cool. But it's a personal preference, I think. Like for me, I would definitely rather grind towards something and then get it, and then I feel like I've achieved something, rather than just buying it and just having it.
Yeah, let's be a little real here. The only reason loot boxes would not exist without online play. Because why do people want the best gear? So they can be the best person on the internet at that game. They keep buying loot boxes. Oh, I'll get the best pair of trousers in the world. They go online and they're the ultimate player. Without fucking online play, I bet loot boxes, no one's going to be like, I'm just playing it for me. No one else is going to see it. They wouldn't exist.
Especially stuff that's like aesthetic. Stuff that sort of like just makes you look kind of good. It's like, I think that there should be a choice. So if you wanted something that looks really cool, I think you should also have the choice to grind towards getting it, and then, then you get it eventually.
Well, the person that was taken to court had to represent in the massive scandal. I think it might have been for Battlefront. Try to use a defense relating it to Kinder Surprises. You don't know what you're going to get in the egg sort of thing. But what you get in the egg is almost immaterial because you still get the benefits of the chocolate. There is no benefit in a loot box other than what you get. Yeah,
and I think with loot boxes, aren't they random?
It's absolutely randomised. Yeah. You might get the ultimate thing, you might get nothing 5 times in a row.
So in a way, it's like a slot machine, basically, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Whereas I would get...
Well, like
if you saw something... Yeah.
It's gambling.
Yeah, if you saw something that you wanted, and you pay money, you get it, then you're just buying something. That's just transition.
I think that's what Ubisoft do. They let you pay actual money for a specific thing.
Yeah.
And then EA make it randomised for a surprise.
Yeah, and that's what keeps you going, isn't it?
Keeps you hooked. Humans, goes without saying, humans being naturally addictive to gambling is nothing new.
Well, it's like the lottery, isn't it? Like, everyone thinks like, oh, well, I'm going to get it.
Someone's got to win.
Yeah, exactly. I think someone's going to win. It's going to be me. It's like...
Scratch cards are that's what loot boxes are. They're scratch cards.
Yeah, basically.
They're not even like proper betting on the lottery.
Really expensive scratch cards.
Yeah, some of them can be absolutely...
Not that scratch cards like have much point to them anyway, because like, chances are you're going to lose.
And again, did you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid?
No.
I did, and you used to get Pokemon cards or anything? No. You used to be able to buy packets of cards. Now, when you bought these, you had no idea what cards you were going to get. And sometimes you'd pay 7 or 8 quid for a packet of 20 cards, you get like that. It always guaranteed like either a shiny or a first edition. But anyway, you could open those cards and you could get absolute shit. Yeah. Or you could get 5 ultra rare ghost shinies.
Yeah. I knew that, was it Blue Eyes White Dragon is like a big thing in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know whether it is or it still is. And I haven't touched the game since they introduced fucking macros and synchros.
I'll tell you what I do know is that I play Warhammer 40k, and
you always get exactly what you pay for.
You get exactly what you pay for, but with that being said, is that the newest stuff they're always bringing out, and they know that people are going to pay for it. But currently, just to say, at the moment, the price of Warhammer 40k for me, if there are any 40k players that might agree with me, a little too much that I'm willing to pay for. Play Bolt Action.
You realise
not that I'm supported by Warlord Games, although Warlord Games, please give me a call back.
You realise there'll be some die-hard players that might listen to them and think, it's players like you we don't need. You either commit 100% or you're nothing.
Are you Space Marine players? If so, your argument is invalid. Orcs for life, boys. And also guard, Cadia stands.
But yeah, it goes without saying, if you're I don't know if they've changed it now, but you should not be able to access loot boxes unless you're over 18. Just like gambling.
Yeah, it's basically
you can't go into a slot machine or a fruit machine unless you're 18. But that's the thing, they got kids into this, and that's why everyone lost their minds.
Yeah, exactly. And but then again, I think like if you're paying,
cuties.
Yeah, but the thing is, I if you're paying for something that you know what you're paying for and you know you're going to get that thing you're paying for, that's fine. But when it's random, then you kind of, I don't know, maybe it's...
Imagine this, you go to a brothel and the guy at the front says you don't get to look at any of the girls.
There's a guy at the front?
Well, yes.
What kind of brothel is this?
One with a pimp. And you give the guy...
Oh, I'm not going to go for one with a pimp. You got to go for one with a madame.
No, it's what, like French with the corset and all that?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay, so I'm in the old fucking West, and I go into a brothel where it's got one of those women that have the massive feathery fans.
Yes.
And they say, you're not allowed...
Keep talking.
You're not allowed to look at any of the girls. Give me $100, and this is in the old West, $100, and you go up to the room...
This isn't the old West.
Yeah. Well, whatever. You go up to the room, and on the room on your left, whoever's in there, that's what you get. And sometimes you might go in there and you might get the sexiest woman in the world. But other times you might pay the $100, go in there, and you've got Dawn French. That's not exactly...
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing. You don't know... You've given the money, and even though you're getting sex, it's not what you wanted.
Or you might not be getting sex.
So always remember... Well...
I mean, that's the thing, though.
You go in there and it's a guy with like 2 fucking oranges stuffed in a bra strapped to him. That's loot boxes.
Yeah, that is a loot box.
You've got
loot boxes is basically a brothel, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't know what you're getting. It's probably going to be something that you can't get rid of.
Well, at least without penicillin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right then, we've definitely hit over an hour now. Damn, there were so many other things we wanted to touch upon. We'll have to do a sequel to this sometime in the future.
Yes, we'll have to do another video game.
If you did enjoy our video game banter, you'd like us to carry on, you got some questions about our favourite games, mention it down below. We are happy to revisit this topic.
And leave a comment on your favourite games.
Oh, absolutely, by all means. What you'd say your game of the year is this year.
Yeah,
Do you remember that? Last of Us. Did you ever play that? That got Game of the Year. BioShock.
I played Life is Strange. Did you ever play that game?
Yeah, why the fuck did you play that?
I thought it was kind of a cool game.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
You got into the whole like photography girl time travel thing?
They were also lesbians at the end.
Well, yeah, there was one instance where they kissed and all. I didn't enjoy it because I personally don't enjoy those sort of games.
Oh, come on.
Where
you can't tell me that Chloe wasn't hot.
She was absolutely hot. You're talking to a guy that's insanely into, like, alternative girls. But I'm not one of those fans of the Telltale style games where your actions have consequences.
You don't like having consequences?
Okay, I explained that badly. I mean, one of those things.
Sick. Like, I loved how. I don't want to ruin it for the people who haven't played the game, but like.
Spoiler warning. Go ahead.
Like. I just thought it was really cool, like the whole wrap up of the game, like how
where the teacher was evil.
Like, yeah, I thought that was fucking sick, man. I thought that was cool.
That was the big spoiler. It was sick.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Spoiler warning! It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's fucking. I think it is cool.
If
Lots of character development.
If you want to hear more video game batter, we can go into fighting games like Mortal Kombat or talk about RPGs like Skyrim.
Damn it, we didn't even talk about Skyrim.
I know, there's the amount of bollocks we covered.
Yeah. Anyway, until next time, stay young and stay...
fresh?
Yeah.
And you've been listening to...
Laughing on a Prayer.